Hey guys, good morning. We're going to work on one more bar graph today, and then I think what we'll do next couple of days, I'll put up kind of examples. I have an activity where you have to look at all three types of graphs we've done, like the broken line, the pie or circle chart, and the bar graph. So this one is maybe like the more traditional one that we've seen. It's got the y-axis, which goes up and down, and the x-axis, which goes horizontal. And on the y-axis, it looks like dozens of pets sold. And on the x-axis, the month. And the title is dozens of pets sold each month. Okay. And remember, it says dozens, so that's going to be 12. So if we're just looking at pure numbers, if it was like in May at 1, that'd be 12 pets. 2 would be 24. You have to keep in mind it says dozen, so there's 12 in a dozen. So that's just something to think about. Okay. So it says how many pets were sold in July and February. So July is 8 dozen. February is 4 dozen. So that would be 12 dozen. Okay. Maybe on the test at how many, total pets. And if the answer you saw 12 dozen, that would be good. But if it had numbers, then what you're going to have to do is, well, there's 12 dozen and there's 12 in a dozen. So you would do 12 times 12, which would be 144. Sometimes there's a little more to it. So for this one, I'm thinking it said, 144. So it's going to ask you to figure out the actual number, not in the dozens. Okay. So that would be 144. So how many more pets were sold in July than May? Okay, so July, there are 8 dozen. In May, there was 1 dozen. So what that's going to be is, so July is 12 times 8, which is 96. And in May, there were 12. So it's going to be 96 minus 12 is going to be 84. Okay. How many pets were sold in May, March, and June? Okay, so we're going to add these three up. So March, there were 6 dozen. May, there was 1 dozen, so that's 7 dozen. In June, there were 2 dozen, so that's 9 dozen total. So you're going to have to do the math, 9 times 12. Okay, and that's 108. All right. It says in August, twice the number of pets were sold than in January. How many pets were sold in August? Okay, so this one's going to be a little bit, you don't see August on here. Okay, so you're like, well, what do I have to do? It says in August, twice the number of pets were sold than in January. So it's 2 times the number of pets that were sold in January. So if we look at January, there were 5 dozen. And twice 5, 2 times is going to be 10. And then 10 times 12 would be 120. So if we had the bar graph over here, it's going to be, it would be up in here in the 10. So it's going to be 120. So we basically don't have August, but we do have January. And it's saying twice the number of pets were sold in August than in January. So we know it's 5 dozen, add another 5 on. So that's going to be 120. Okay. When were more pets sold, in January or April? And this is just a straightforward one. April, there were 7 dozen. January, there were only 5. So there were more pets sold in April than in January. And so right down here are all the answers. Okay, you guys, just something to think about. I'll go ahead and post this. That's really all for today. I think Casey's going to be doing a math class here shortly, but we'll send out a remind note. So have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.